because we have today international conference, so I decided to talk today in English. It's quite easier for me because for the last 20 years I spent abroad, in immigration, and our company is abroad. So we are a construction company, and I'm going to show you, and in simple terms, to show how we're building today in our domestic sector of buildings. We have our approach in sustainable construction using solid timber construction, and I will show you a little bit today about it. So we are a family-based business, first registered in 2009. Since 2017, after some upgrading myself in Germany, decided to move completely to a modern method of construction. And since then, we're focusing only in solid timber construction together, with the full envelope offering for the clients. So our main task would be domestic sector, specializing in low-rise buildings, mainly for the domestic sector for sure. At the moment, it's in design stage for the modular construction as well. Since 2021, we have office in Lithuania as well. So how to build? Actually, it shows us the nature. If we look at the cross-section like that, we can see where kind of all animals and creatures like to live, who has lungs and legs. So they most likely they're spending, Where's the pointer, sorry? Sorry. So the nature shows us where to live now. So most likely we like to live and stay down there, it's nice and clear and everything. Today, people, quite a lot digging here, making blocks and building those rocks up there. So it's probably the option as well. So our WoodOn envelope is sustained from the three components, basically. So from solid timber, the panels, wood fiber insulation, and an external timber cladding from outside. Solid timber panels can be left inside exposed, can be left as internal finish, as well can be covered with the plasterboard. So the system is based from solid timber panels with double TNG connection between. There and there. So they are basically connected vertically. As we can see, all prepared with the beam moduling, the structure, all fully prefabricated. This allows us to build with accuracy with today's modern type of construction. So everything is coming on site pretty prepared as on the truck, all pre-cut as a flat pack like from IKEA. Quite often starting on the concrete base with wall plate on the bottom, then panels assembled. As we can see here, a few pictures. Wall plate on the bottom, panels going up vertically, and then on the top, ring beam. Very simple system, doesn't need to have special knowledge, quite simple assembly on site. Typically for the domestic house, it's enough 3-man gang team to assemble the house, probably 2-3 weeks, depending on the size. Externally, the roof structure can be glued on beams as well, or solid timber construction. I will show you later. So that's kind of a raw picture from the site. How does it look, during construction? When was houses built, the 20-30 years ago, there was leaking, there was drafty and so on. Today we're trying, to focus, to make everything airtight, watertight, to be non-leak and so on. I may be quite older generation now, which like to open the window and get fresh air. So that's why we chosen now to use breathable natural wood fiber insulation for external application to allow the building to breathe, which is now quite important for building physics to allow natural environment. So for sure, wood fiber insulation allows breathability in the envelope, because core material is timber as well. Everything's with the dry fixings, so that's our main focus to be able to build sustainably, not just in terms of reaching U values and technical parameters, but at the same use materials and use the system which you can easy to assemble it and deassemble it after the life cycle and reuse it. For sure, wood fiber insulation allows temperature cycle allow up to 12 hours and other benefits. So that's typical sequence on the side. That's the solid timber structure. It's already assembled, airtight, taped only connections. Then wood fiber applied just simply with mechanical fixings, weather membrane and buttons. And then the building is ready for the finishes. Quite simple. No cold bridges. As you can see, all insulation is connected a roof to the wall all together, and there's no issues about cold bridging. Overlapping, typically we do in 2 sheets, so all joints are overlapping and there's no issues. Again, for the sustainability point, we chosen to use dry fixings, only screw fixings, to be able, as I mentioned again, to be able to easily assemble it and deassemble it. Materials, it's quite major point why we're focusing into that. As external finish, we're offering as well to be in the same trend timber cladding. Today there's various options. There's char timber, there's thermal wood, various applications but we're choosing char timber or thermal wood. So to move forward with sustainable construction, we're still a little bit kind of like aliens, especially in the countries where it's kind of concrete, typically based countries like Ireland, where we're working mainly, whereas more than probably 90% of the buildings are concrete. So to move forward with sustainable materials is quite challenging. But it's coming, the knowledge and the benefits of the sustainable construction, even in those countries. Lithuania, they have well kind of history about timber buildings, so it's much easier, I would say, to convince people to move that direction. So anyway, the main challenges I would say would be across all Europe. CO2 factor. So for sure, in solid timber construction, we can store quite a lot of CO2, especially in mass timber, the blocks, where they're not just storing CO2, but they can control the internal climate. They can absorb moisture, they can take heat, and then release it back. So that's kind of natural environment to create for the indoors. Supply chain. If we look, let's say, in the European manufacturers of solid timber, the products, particularly the one we work with Meyer Melhof in Austria. For example, Meyer Melhof using the timber just radius from the factory about 100 kilometers only, and that's enough for them. Not just supply for the Austria, but export as well. So if the forests are well managed, so the supply, there's no issues at all. If the forests are managed well. Like there's statistics in Austria growing every 30 seconds. Enough timber to build a semi-detached house, so quite good. Healthy environment indoors, that's where we're focusing as well with our envelope to allow good, healthy environment indoors. as my colleagues mentioned already, we Europeans spending quite a lot of time indoors, and the air quality is very important. Not just to rely on the mechanical ventilation systems, but as well to use as much as possible in natural materials inside. So with our envelope, you could have quite a lot of natural materials inside the building. Standardization and sizing, if to move forward with sustainable construction, which has much more meanings just to achieve U values and technical parameters, we need to think about reusability. And for reusability, we can achieve, for example, to make standardization, various sizes, walls, ceilings, and stuff like that. We quite know, in Lithuania, all these modular buildings from Soviet times. It's quite similar, can be done probably in these days. For sure, it's quite difficult to do it, to agree with everybody, but it probably would be possible. Design factor, that's for sure is a big issue. When we're pricing the projects, it's quite often questioned, how much it will cost, per square meter, per square foot, whatever. So all, as I'm saying, depending on the design. And design is a big and key issue today, to driving the costs, and for sure, driving sustainability towards at the same. Adopt and reusable materials. So we try, to use solid timber panels, not CLT, but parallel lamination panels, which are kind of ready for the reusability because they are sizing smaller and can be cut to according to the project. For the fire treatment, that's a big question now for timber materials, for sure. But in terms of structural integrity, there is no key issues now about that at all. If it's timber left exposed, then can be applied fire retardants, on that if that's the issue. But if applying plasterboard, then you can achieve fireproof 1 hour or hour and a half, depending on the plasterboard situation. And about the cost, maybe I'll just mention in the next slide a little bit more. So for sure, as a design is the key. What way is done? How many construction details, how many construction connections there is in the building, because everything is prefabrication, and all that has to be prepared, converted into the software. So that takes the time and the challenges of the construction. Size for sure. But often, it doesn't really much matter. That from the experience, not always the bigger house it's costing more. It's more down to the construction surfaces, what is used inside. Because every wall, every detail, every ceiling, that takes to produce, takes to make it. So all that really depends on the construction surfaces. Price as well, depending on what type of roof structure would be chosen. Is that solid timber or is that glulam rafters? And UL requirements. Quite average, as I would say from the experience, we're saying about the €1,000 square meter will cost to build with that system our part. So that means leaving the building watertight with the superstructure with glulam, wood fiber insulation, and weather membrane. That is a good example about the children's hospital built by our colleagues in Germany. It's good few years ago, but just it's a good example to show about repetition project, kids hospital in Germany. And if you look at the numbers, it's in 24 days was assembled full hospital with just only 2 carpenters and 6 helpers. So it's really the fast approach, the construction, which is suitable for small and medium high-rise buildings. Yeah, so basically in 1 month it was assembled. Full project took it about 6 months from groundworks to finish. Just in this case, they used rock wool insulation with the renders. So that's possible too, but to use more sustainable way, probably the renders wouldn't be the best solution. Yeah. So that's our short presentation. Sorry for my English, a little bit nervous. So if you have any questions, I'm glad to answer you.